The Marineford War arc is often regarded as not only one of the best arcs in the story of One Piece, but one of the best story arcs in the history of shonen anime. And there's a good reason for this, as this is an arc that's full of action, emotional highs and lows, and military strategy. This is a true blue war arc. Two main factions, along with some wildcards, with two main goals in mind that are diametrically opposed from each other. And while one faction technically accomplished their goal, today I'm going to tell you why no one won the Marineford War. Why the Whitebeard Pirates took a fat L. I'm going to start with the obvious here and say these guys had two goals. One, free Ace before he gets executed, and two, escape off the island with him. And things didn't go quite as they planned. Now, the actual battles with the Marines were beautiful to watch, but if Luffy didn't show up, Ace probably wouldn't have gotten free at all. Not only were their numbers being hacked away, but the Marines were also able to sow doubt in the Whitebeard subordinates and even got one of them to attack Whitebeard. Not only do they not get Ace off the island alive, but they lose Whitebeard as well as his power too. And if Shanks didn't show up, they'd probably f*** up Whitebeard's dying wish of them protecting Luffy as well. Sadly, the L's that they rack up don't even end with this arc, as they go on to lose the payback war to the Blackbeard Pirates, giving up Whitebeard's former territory in the process. So yeah, Whitebeard Pirates, y'all gonna have to hold this L. Why the Marines really didn't win? Okay, so now I know you're probably thinking, Cash, how you gonna tell me that the Marines lost the war when you just said they succeeded in their goal of executing Ace? And also killed one of the four emperors / world's strongest man in Whitebeard? Well, if you relax, I'm gonna tell you in a second. First off, the Marines did suffer some casualties in this war, but it was mostly fodder, so no harm, no foul. Secondly, this war also coincided with the greatest jailbreak in One Piece history, unleashing hundreds of high-level pirates back into the general public of the One Piece world, which wouldn't have happened if Ace wasn't on death row and Luffy going to save him. Third, Buggy getting on the broadcast and keeping the line on and open allowed the general public of the One Piece world to get a small glimpse of what the world government is truly capable of. Fourth, the person truly responsible for this war is Blackbeard, who abused his power as a government-appointed warlord to get access to Impel Down and free a bunch of the worst criminals that were there. Fifth, not only did Blackbeard not help them at all, he swooped in and took a power from Whitebeard with the potential to destroy the world. Sixth, even though one of the emperors was defeated, in his dying words, he resparked the hearts and ambitions of pirates everywhere by confirming that the One Piece was real. And seventh, again, although one of the emperors was defeated, this threw the balance of power into disarray and laid a path for pirates to kick up their gruesome tactics to take over Whitebeard's now up for grabs territories, most of which were taken over by Blackbeard, who has much worse intentions than Whitebeard ever did. So to me, that's a net loss, and Marines, y'all gonna have to hold this out. Wildcards and true winners. Alright, so I lied. Sue me. There actually were some winners, but they weren't on either of the initial sides that this war started with in the first place. But I'm going to start off by talking about the wildcards that didn't really win. Luffy. Now, it's not hard to see why Luffy is a loser here. He literally went to hell and back, got shot up with drugs multiple times, took on villains past, present, and future, and made it all the way to releasing his brother, only for him to still get the hole punch treatment. That's like getting that baddie you've been eyeing out on a date, she come back to the crib, and your partner in crime isn't quite cooperating, or is cooperating a little too well. Like, damn, all that for what? So yeah, Luffy, you're gonna have to hold this up. Shanks. I know, you're probably wondering, how can Shanks be considered a loser here when he literally stopped the war with nothing but his aura from the moment he pulled up to the battlefield? Well, I'm about to tell you. Shanks is a loser here because he failed to prevent this war from happening in the first place. He pulled up to Whitebeard to try and get him to stop Ace from going after Blackbeard, which was the trigger for all of this to happen. So for that, Shanks, you're gonna have to hold this out. Impel Down prisoners. The prisoners of Impel Down basically just got really lucky that Luffy and Blackbeard went there to fuck shit up and were able to get their freedom, whether deserved or not. Either way, it's hard not to look at their situation and see it as an absolute W. Buggy the Clown. Next up, we have Buggy. Buggy could simply be a winner off the strength that he was able to escape Impel Down, but his W's don't actually end there. Buggy gets an immaculate boost of clout, not only in the eyes of these Impel Down prisoners who will soon join his crew and allow him to start his buggy delivery service, but also in general due to his portrayal as someone capable of teaming up with Whitebeard, being a former apprentice to the Pirate King, and being able to speak to another emperor, red-haired Shanks, on equal footing. This boost in clout exceeds to the point where he is actually recruited to be a warlord for the world government during the time skip. Blackbeard. Last but not least, we have the truest and biggest winner of them all, Blackbeard. Blackbeard is really that toxic dude that you think kind of just likes being chaotic off the strength of being chaotic, but don't be fooled. Blackbeard is a patient, calculated individual with amazing luck, and that is a terrifying combination. Blackbeard is able to cause this entire event to happen and take advantage of the situation by handing Ace over to the Marines, recruiting top-class criminals to bolster his crew, steal the power of the world's strongest man, and eventually become the next Emperor of the Sea. All the while, making both sides of the war look foolish at every turn. The Whitebeard Pirates for hiding in plain sight on their crew while he plotted, and the Marines for allowing him to become a warlord just to immediately abuse that power to benefit himself. I can honestly say no one took more W's than Blackbeard.